Yes! Oh, I love it when we start with an applause. Thank you. Well, I hope you're ready for it, because we have a parade and a lineup of, I can say, star-studded quality here this year to celebrate the opening of the new academic year with you. We aim to give you a little glimpse into what the university is developing, what we are supporting this year, and what we are striving for this year. And let me give a quick hello to the people in the audience here. Hi. And also the people watching from the comfort of their home or work that couldn't be here. Hi. You are with us live. Wow, this feels like a real award show, huh? Yeah. These are some fancy lights and some fancy people here. Let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Elfie Tromp, and I'm a writer and a performer, secondly, but a Rotterdammer and Erasmus former student, firstly. And it's an honor to be here and to speak to you today and to guide you through this award show today. And I want to feel that you are here. I want to know that you're ready for it. So, of course, I got that little applause of you, like a little spice on the afternoon. But I want to try it again. And let you give you a warm applause to the people that I want to honor. So, please give a warm applause for the members of the executive board of the Erasmus University. Thank you. And I also need to call out the supervisor board. Yes, they deserve it. And a big warm applause for Alderman Said Kazmi of the city of Rotterdam that just joined us. Thank you. The members of the Erasmus Trust Fund. Where are you guys? Raise your hand and wave. Yeah? Over there? Okay. A little shy. And of course, all our students, alumni, and staff of the Erasmus University here, and other attendees and viewers across the world. So, you might have guessed a little, the theme of today's show is AI and us, imagining the future. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm quite happy to be hosting the show because I'm a bit of a technical noob. Yeah, I don't know much about it, so I'm looking forward to get enlightened by the speakers today. And I would love to be hearing all of that bright and sunny future of the AI, or is it? Because I heard a really nice metaphor yesterday actually being said in the Rotterdam Parliament, and one of the speakers said AI is like a Ferrari, you know, one of those nice shiny cars. It's got speed, it's got beauty, it's got potential, but if you don't know how to drive it, you're just going to get a really beautiful crash. So, are we going to use it for good, and how are we going to use it? What's on for today? We have a prize-packed ceremony, but cushioned with discussions revolved around this AI, and research projects initiated and empowered by the university, like ACON and AI Pact. And we are in the same boat. I don't know what they're about, but we will be knowing that very shortly. And Alderman Said Kazmi from the city of Rotterdam will be one of our panelists later on. And we have the great honor to welcome to the stage as the key speaker later on in the program, the renowned digital artist Rafik Anadol, who uses AI in his artistic practice. And to soothe the ears and the hearts, we have a very special musical collaboration with Mo, the Dutch artist. Yes, we can do a little woo. Yes, thank you. And although for the ones just seated, the ones that were already here, we have a little interactive thing going on. You know, it's a little, we're talking tech things here. So we have the Mentimeter. Yes, and this is one of those places that, yeah, you get to play with your phones. This is good news. You as well. Yeah, don't be shy. Take out your phones. Yeah, because I want to ask you some questions throughout the show, really just to get a little sense who's here. You know, you get to stare at me for 1.5 hours, so I want to get a sense of who's in the room. So please don't put it on the airport or air mode, and just take it to silence, and then visit menti.com. And if you haven't logged on, please type in this code. 97646451. Don't try calling it because it won't answer, but just fill it in. And I want to try it with our first questions. Are we all logged in? How about here, guys? Where's your phone? You forgot it? Oh, phoneless guy. That's special. That's someone without a phone these days. Are you guys joining us for the Mentimeter? Yeah. Some of them didn't bring it. Yeah. No, 2 little pockets, huh? No pockets in your jeans. I got it. All right, good. So we have the first question. Are you guys ready for it? A future with AI. You get 4 questions or answers that you can choose from. It frightens me as I think AI will take over the world. B is amazing, because AI will make our lives better. C puzzles me, as I have no clue what AI exactly is. That would be me. And D, it activates me to help shape my, and of course, our future. So it takes a little time before we gather all the answers. Don't think too long about it, just answer straight from the heart. There's only 30 seconds left, I think, so we're counting down. And we'll have a look at the results later. But first, I want to ask the stage chairman of the executive board at Bringsma. So Ed, you have been with us for 2 years now, right?
Right.
You started in a very special time.
Yeah.
So is this the first time you actually get to see this audience or this room so full?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate to have to admit that, but this is the first opening of the academic year that we really have a full audience, and I'm so glad that this is the case. It feels like the way it should be.
Yeah, I can imagine. Before we start the ceremony, we always take a moment to commemorate the colleagues and students who have sadly left us and passed away during the last year. And we have a special performance by Rotterdam dance group Connie Jansen Dans, and they will be performing a commemorative dance. And I would like to take a moment with you to fully absorb this and honor it. And I would like to ask you to stay seated and do not applaud afterwards, but just take a moment of silence before we continue with the program. And Ed, would you like to say words to lead into it?
Because this is a traditional part of the opening of our academic year. Being a student or a staff member at our university means being part of our Erasmian community. And our students, they share valuable moments of their lives, studying, exploring, celebrating and growing together. And of course our staff is either active in research education or supporting it, and spend a lot of time together to bring innovation to all of these fields and to create the positive societal impact we aim at. But being a community also means that you share difficult moments when members of our community pass away. And we make that always part of the opening of the academic year. Sometimes also we see that although a tragic loss may be there, continuations may be also there, like the Sander Foundation, which is tied to the tragic death of one of our students. And special for this year, because usually we do not mention names, and we usually do not include former members of our community. But this year I would like to make an exception for Bram Peper, who was a professor of sociology at our university, mayor of this city, and even minister, who passed away 2 weeks ago. And he was instrumental in the modernization and rejuvenation of Rotterdam, our beautiful city, that is also so important for our university. So let's now pay tribute to him and our students and staff members that passed away the past year.
beautiful, wasn't it? There's the moment afterwards to thank the dancers. They will be waiting outside after the award show for the informal drinks that we're having with them. So thank you already for Mariko Shimoda and Remy Tilburg from Connie Jansen Danst. And now we will continue with our program. And we have a swanky little bumper for that. I guess we don't. So I get to invite Ed again to the stage. Yes. You know, give him some applause. He needs it. I need it. We love it. Thank you. AI and us, imagining the future. Gosh, this feels like Weekend Millionaires, except there's no millions and it's now weekend. So, Ed, I get to ask you, why did the university choose to put more of a focus on AI?
Well, I think most of us associate artificial intelligence with science and technology, where I think basically things began. But what is very, very important to realize about this day and age is that the effect and the most important implications and use of technology will be with people, societies, cultures. We're really on that cusp where AI is changing from a technology to something that will deeply influence us as humans and as society. And as people know, this is a very important topic of Erasmus University. So I think in the technological side, although we have a very good data analytics center, for example, but on the technological side, this is something that we do together with our friends at Delft. But if we look at the impact on ordinary people, society, behavior, all that, that's our business. So the future of our AI is our business.
I love what you're saying, and you talk about ordinary people, and I would really like to know, how does the AI or artificial intelligence impact your life, and why is it of a special focus to you?
For me especially, well, my connection is more, of course I'm in the business of running universities, but I had a scientific past and I'm a computer scientist. So in some sense I'm familiar with this. My own, at the beginning of my scientific career, I made a modest contribution to that which we now call the internet, and which is really at the basis of all these things. If we weren't connected to the internet, we wouldn't be seeing the effects of AI quite the way we have now. So I would say my relation to AI is something, it's a new technological wave that will change society. And having been part of previous waves, this is how I mostly relate to it. And on the other hand, of course, I have a car that is talking to me and sometimes telling me to drive somewhere where I don't want to go. I also have that experience.
The annoyance of
well, it's definitely not beyond me.
All right, no. Perfect. So your answers are in. Let us take a look at the first answers of the first Mentimeter question. So I don't have my glasses on. This is like a painful realization. I need to look at my little screen. We have 15% that say, I'm very frightened that the AI will take over the world. Yeah, doom thinking people, but that's okay, you know, you're welcome here. 27% says it's amazing. Okay, we're very positive here in the room. And 21%, so closely following it up, it puzzles me. And 37 is really looking forward to it. It activates me to help shape my future. Where would you be in these four?
Well, it's a very interesting one because the questions have been posed as, and there is no all of the above box, right? I must admit that, of course, I am also most drawn to the 37%. I would say that this is not necessarily just positive. It means that you want to shape the future, which probably means you want to see the positive influences and reduce the negative influences. So, and I think this is the attitude. We cannot fight it. There's no really realistic way of stopping such developments. So you better be engaged and confront it. But I can understand each of the other categories as well.
It's like the full scope of human psychology. Thank you so much, Ed. We'll be seeing you shortly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
And I'm heading back to you guys because I have another question for you of the Mentimeter. So please take out your phones again. Yes. Go to menti.com, and if you accidentally logged out, you can log back in again. And for the ones that, forgot their phone, you get a little time off. You can, look at the people working hard. Okay, which of these applications with AI do you use in daily life? Voice assistant, for example, talking car. Recommendations on Netflix. Yes, this is AI if you didn't know it. Fraud detection. Tinder matchups. We get to see, I would say, Tinder/Grindr/Field. I don't know who's in the room. The self-driving car features. Oh, that's also a voice assistant, I thought. Okay, well, that's another one. Maybe you can tick 2 boxes, I'm not sure. Or cyber warfare. I'm very interested in who's in cyber warfare in these rooms. Oh, do we get it right away? Okay. So you can see it's growing, it's glowing slowly. There's 22 people that use the voice assistant. 23? Okay. Let me just be silent and let you do the talking. 3 little phones. I think we're done. Yeah. So by far, the most people use the recommendations on Netflix. You really do that? Well, it makes life easier. 39%, but was it right though? Do you ever get to see something that you actually like? Because I usually get the rom-com, especially during that time of the month, and I hate them. Everything that they recommend, they're wrong. No? You're very silent, very attentive. The Netflix people, like maybe someone here in the front room, did you use Netflix? Yeah? You happy what they found for you? Not necessarily. It's not perfect, just like humans. Okay, so 39 uses Netflix. Coming in closely with the 23, the voice assistant. The 15% has the fraud detection. Not that many people hooking up with Tinder these days, huh? Only 8%. Well, maybe you can take a little swipe now in the room and see who's available. Just little thoughts, if your mind wanders during the talk. But okay, let's move on. Let me see. Discussing the role and possibilities of artificial intelligence in our future is useless if we do not know what we're really talking about, right? So I'm very happy that the next guest can fill us in, and that's Francisca Gromet, and she's a top talent fellow with the Erasmus Initiative's Societal Impact of AI. Give a hand of applause. So I tripped on these words during our rehearsal. I tripped again. Do you ever get to say it like flawlessly?
I never say the whole thing. It makes me a little bit shy to sort of use that whole title, although I'm honored to, be part of that group. But we can say AI Pact, research fellow.
The AI Impact. Okay, yeah. Very good. So Francisca, I have a Google Home at home, and so a voice assistant. And to be honest, I only argue with it because my favorite band is Siouxsie and the Banshee, and when I ask it to play it, it usually comes out with something silly like sexy band-aids or something.
Can you buy them on the internet?
The sexy band-aids?
The sexy band-aids.
Probably, everything's out on the internet these days. But how smart is AI? Because mine's pretty dumb, to be honest.
Well, we can try it out.
Yeah,
we have one
you
here.
brought one, huh?
Yeah.
You brought one. Let me whip out a microphone. And let me ask it, well, the first question that's on my mind is actually, I need to address it, right?
Yes, you
Okay, Google.
I can't reach the internet right now.
Oh, guys, it's always the same.
That's really nice. I love this.
I swear I had it connected all the time. That's okay. We can move on.
Well, maybe you can explain to us the definition of artificial intelligence.
So,
not so smart now, eh? Without the internet.
Well, that's exactly part of the thing, right? For most of the applications, we need to be on the internet. Part of what it would have answered, there would have been 2 key words, that it is intelligent, more or less demonstrated by machines instead of natural intelligence by humans, and that is more or less autonomously and make these decisions, that it can perceive more or less its environment and take actions on the basis of it. So what you take from that are really a few key words: intelligence, decision-making, autonomy. But all of that stays rather abstract in a way, right? What we usually refer to as intelligent at this day and age, in relation to AI, is that we create models that use all the data that we generate today. So we generate a lot of data, right? By being on Tinder, by browsing on the internet, by looking for the way in our cars. All this data can be constantly used to update computer models that can make decisions that are more and more detailed in a way. But because we create all that data, we can also make machines and technologies that can act in, a large variety of circumstances and a large variety of applications, from industrial to, Netflix recommendations. And that is very different from what we did with AI in the past, when people had to think of all the possible scenarios in advance to program these into our computers. And I think that is part of what we now refer to as intelligence, is this machine learning from all the different types of data that we create today. However, I'm saying this, but there's of course a lot of variety and debate about the topic. Everybody will have their own definition. If I only talk about intelligence, this is usually not something that people agree on what is intelligent. A self-driving car wouldn't recognize a snowman in some cases. So they don't deal very well sometimes with unexpected situations. So this is why people say, well, AI is the one technology that is unintelligent. So please take it as an ongoing debate what we actually mean by these types of technologies. And then there's also a wide range of them. It's difficult to see where artificial intelligence will stop and where it will end. So for instance, this little machine, hey, it's working. This little machine, it can respond to my voice, recognize my voice, make sense of natural language, but it can also browse the internet, but then it also does fairly simple things. If I ask it, hey, what do you think of me? It will always respond with a pre-programmed, very simple sentence that I'm very nice. And of course, it's trying to make me buy things from the internet, essentially, which is also, a feature of AI today. Well, such definitions, I think they leave some questions unanswered. Why is there so much hope and hype around AI? Why are we all gathered here? Why does almost everyone seem to have an opinion about it? And why are so many people so fascinated with it? And well, to just go to an example of our fascination with AI is when thousands of viewers witnessed two voice assistants like this one talking independently to each other. And over their conversation, they fell in love. This is at least what people observing them for 10 hours or more said to each other. Of course, people observing this were joking because they know they're not real humans, but still we're attributing human qualities a lot when we talk about AI. And that also ended up in many numerous blogs on what it actually meant to be human. Because when we talk about AI, we often really talk about ourselves and the limits of human capacity. So that is one characteristic, it's really often about ourselves. Another characteristic is that AI is at the same time real, and it contains large parts of our imagination. And this attracts our fascination, but it also poses challenges. So in popular culture of the late 60s, voice assistants are already there. So most of you will know HAL 9000 from Space Odyssey. But then in the 1998 Star Trek movie, Captain Picard, he walks into his living room, taking a break from, being captain of the Enterprise, and the following happens.
Computer music. No, not that. Something Latin.
Specify.
A mambo. That's more like it.
So it's a lot like the Siris and Alexas we know today, of course, and this is no coincidence. Voice assistant designers have repeatedly referred to Star Trek when they explain what their inspiration is. You can also use Star Trek commands in these. So here is this interaction between, real technological capacity and what we imagine. And the fact, that we can realize these types of artificial intelligence, that does not really mean that it's limitless. We can't, make everything that is around in science fiction, but it also doesn't mean it's without its social or ethical challenges. For instance, what lots of people here also know is that most voice assistants, in the beginning, they're usually programmed with female voices, because apparently we can't really imagine, another gender as a homemaker. But that doesn't mean that, these challenges cannot be addressed. For instance, there's a Danish collective of organizations that created a genderless voice assistant called Q. We also have feminist designers that are programming voice assistants to respond that are less submissive and more assertive. So hopefully, this gives also an idea is that, one of the questions and issues here is who gets to participate in actually shaping the technologies that we use in the ways we like. And hopefully, this is an example that illustrates that and also tells us why it can pay off not only to train algorithms, but also to train our imaginations.
Thank you, Franziska. Thank you. So for a final question, can I still ask him the question?
Let's see
the
if
one
it
that's
works
still
now.
on my mind.
I'm
Oh no,
it
the
works.
internet, you closed it.
No, it should be, yes.
Okay.
We can try.
Okay, Google.
I can't reach the internet.
Okay, never mind.
This is for the drinks afterwards. Please take him to the bar. We can have a ball with him. Thank you, or her, or it. Thank you so much for taking us further down the rabbit hole of AI. And I don't know about you guys. I hope you, men, women, everyone, all genders, all people, all entities here in the room. I hope you had a really nice summer and are looking forward to this academic year. I went to France, and now that's none of your concern, but I saw a jaw-dropping artwork at the Centre Pompidou, and I didn't know the maker of it yet, the artist, but I sat down, and it overwhelmed me for at least an hour. Time and space seemed to, disappear, and I was, there you go. Of course, this is yours. This is your stage as well. And it was an incredible honor. I squealed like a little happy babe when I heard I got to introduce him today. Because with us is Rafik Anadol, the maker of this beautiful AI-powered art. He's a media artist, director, and pioneer in the aesthetics of machine intelligence. And his global projects have received an overwhelming number of awards and prizes. And his jaw-dropping works have been drawing crowds all over the world, and now it's our turn. Here, a very warm and special welcome to Rotterdam for Rafik Anadol. Thank you.
So much.
So Rafik, I have one informal question, because it's quite special to use AI and art. It's not something that's on the curriculum for art schools. So how did it invade or take over your artistic practice?
I think it's pretty much a childish imagination with the computers, playing games so much early days. And I think there was an idea that this machine should be like something that one day become a friend. I think this finding human in non-human became very early, I think, ages. I think playing games are a good thing, I think.
Games is always a good, gateway. Gateway drug. All right, well, take it away. I'm looking forward to your speech.
Thank you so much. So great to be here. Deeply honored to be here. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rafik Anadol. I'm a media artist coming from Los Angeles, and my heart rate is too high because I respect this beautiful day. To be honest, I'm measuring 128 BPM for this beautiful day and energy. So for this today to be, I guess, to bring the joy, energy, and inspiration, I thought that we should have a different than just a keynote. So here's my work. This is Machine Hallucinations, a project that started almost 6 years ago, but much more earlier. And today in my 20 minutes, I'll do my very best to bring you to my journey, to explain what you are seeing, what you're experiencing. During this presentation, we will be seeing multiple artworks. They are all driven by AI algorithms. Generative algorithms will be using certain information around life. But before that, I also want to show something very important. Today, if you see this presentation almost 9 years ago, I was on a stage as a student, and I was saying that one day, the buildings may learn and they may dream. And I was so excited on the stage, with my short, by the way, I'm better right now. And I didn't know that I was next to one of the most important minds and engineers. And that day, I was able to get an award that allowed me to study at UCLA, Design Media Arts Department. And I was also criticized, my works were so much criticized that next day, I was also in the collection of Bill Gates. So just want to say that for friends and artists and creators, critics are great, but sometimes it may be different. I'm originally from Istanbul, Turkey, where I found that where the West and East and left and right, contemporary and history connects. I was very fortunate that my mother brought one day Commodore 128, a computer that changed my mind, I guess. I was literally addicted to games till the end of high school. Specifically, the space in the mind of a machine truly inspired me. And as William Gibson, which I think many of you love, and also we love the science fiction as like a family and friends, I was so fortunate to grow up with family of like teachers. So I grew up with, I guess, these wonderful minds that allow me to learn very early. But I think this movie also changed the imagination. But as a child, I think I found optimism in this beautiful movie. And 2008 was an important year because as an undergrad studying, I was super fascinated by this amazing write-up from Lev Manovich. And he was saying, in other words, architects along with artists can take the next logical step to consider the invisible space of electronic data flows as substance rather than just as void, something that needs a structure, a politics and poetics. It was super inspiring to me that perhaps embedding media arts into architecture by using algorithms and data and sensors, we can maybe create a feeling of a new world. And I started programming languages. This is called Pure Data, 2008, where it's like a simple, humble visual programming language, allowed me to understand how to compute information, but also it was a very inspiring year that I think I coined the term data painting, the idea of using data as a substance. Early works were focusing on projection mapping with this software called VVVV. For anyone interested, you can download it, vvvv.org. And this allowed me to do many projects with computation and create installations, but also understand how data can be used. For example, in this project, I was able to create an installation by using the street sound data. And around that day, 2011, I think I call it poetics of data, I realized that data can shape any form. And data is not just a number, but it can be a form of memory. And around the years, I think what was also very, again, came to me inspiring is this idea of reality and how actually machines can compute and create almost realistic forms and how it has been used in the arts. By the way, you will see a lot of frames in my work in the next slides. It was actually a rejection, a failure. That is, it was too expensive to put a huge frame around the building. And when I was rejected from the curators, I thought perhaps it's a good reason to start. And also, research, especially in the field of computation and as we all, humanity, becoming more and more inspired by these machines around us, it started physical and virtual worlds start to collide way before that right now we are all talking about. And as Kierkegaard says, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. And I find that it's fascinating that every single day our humanity is completely changing, our desires, our DNA, and the controls are changing. Who is becoming where and where exactly we are in this is becoming changing. And also the sense of displacement, the feeling of are we in which kind of dimension we are. And I feel like this is a beautiful situation, and art is exactly happening in this dimension. And I also found that design is a solution to a problem, art is a question problem, as Joe Maeda says. I asked maybe the similar question, what does it really mean to be a human in the 21st century? This beautiful monkey learns how to use Instagram in just 30 seconds if you want to watch. It will like and comment and things like that. But this question was so heavy, and I thought that I cannot do it myself, and that there's an amazing African proverb, to go faster, do it alone. To go further, do it together. So here is my giants, my team. We are 15 people, can speak 15 languages, and represent 10 countries. Pretty much, I think we are called nerds, which means I think we learn to learn very quickly. In our studio, our practice is pretty much focused on many mediums. And over the last 10 years, we try to work with art, science, and technology, we try to collide AI, neuroscience, and architecture, and always try to find humans, machines, and environments, and try to create narratives and feelings that perhaps in near future, the built environments, the architecture, can go beyond just steel, structures, glass, and concrete. And we thought that perhaps using light as a material, one of the most, I believe, divine material, can allow us to go beyond what we can imagine. In the studio, we focused multiple forms of artworks, but specifically today about AI, and we will be showing and seeing AI artworks. But I think what was very inspiring to me was it's much powerful, impactful, and purposeful when the art is for anyone, any age, any background. And I think public art is exactly what it is. Public art can be in anywhere. There is no beginning, there is no end, there is no wall, there is no ceiling, there is no walls or doors. I do believe when art is everywhere, in public, free and open, that's where the impact may happen. But one thing that maybe you remember this image, almost 2015 summer, a group of Google engineers leaked this image, which is called the Deep Dream, a software that I think triggered the AI revolution. And the group, who is also Blaise Agoré-Arca's part of it, said, like the invention of applied pigments, printing press, photography, and computers, we believe machine intelligence is an innovation that will profoundly affect art. And I was very fortunate to become one of their first AI artists in residence at Google. And the desire to take information, turn into a knowledge, and eventually wisdom became a research. The very first project was inspired by the Future of Library, which is hugely inspired by the Louis Borges, the Library of Babel. This Borgesian imagination of one day every information may exist. We designed this immersive environment where you step inside, you are witnessing AI learning in front of you. The artwork is trained on 1.7 million images, so imagine a library that you go. But in this library, there is not like a classical keyword box. In this world, the AI already learned for you and progressing in a world that is a little bit different than where we are. And the other question was, if a machine can learn, which it can it dream? Became the second question. And if it can dream, how this can be formed, this can be. And these images were like, by the way, what is trained phone? And for anyone interested in AI, pretty much many questions happening in the center called latent space. It's where exactly machine learns and, I guess, saves information that weights our questions. And also, by the way, the image on the left side is 9 years of research of researchers at the library, and on the right side, 90 minutes of AI sorting the same information, which I'm calling them data universes. This became a research, and for example, here we trained Rumi, Persian poets died in Konya, Turkey, his Masnavi in 19 languages and represented in different forms, or even Mozart, like the music, not only text, can take many forms and different imaginations. But I think what was really inspired me, like the image you see on this left and right immersive keynote, this idea that in here we are watching an AI dreaming almost 1.7 billion documents on the left side. But what truly made me more inspired is what happens if we take these machine decisions and transform them into expressive new pigmentation. Like in Van Gogh, like Monet inspired from, what will happen another like algorithm can take this and transform it to new dimensions. The whole idea of machine hallucination started like almost now 6 years ago, and we trained more than 100 models and download more than 2 billion images from public domains. And what was really exciting for us is, even though the style feels similar, every archive, every input was different. For example, nature, culture, urban, cities, and each information was creating different patterns, like life. So this story became more inspiring because the question was how machines could simulate unconscious and subconscious events, such as dreaming, remembering, and hallucinating. By the way, for friends who are interested, we had to write lots of softwares. Even though the many AI algorithms are public, available, and free, we still need to generate some softwares allows us to understand what exactly machine learned and how we can make this black box more visible. And once we learned this, how to embed these ideas from the machine's mind, it was also very inspiring to look at the cities from a fresh perspective. For example, New York, we were able to get 100 million images of New York City, and all these images you see here are not real. They look like real. So technically, AI could simulate almost realistic images of the city. And then, taking this information and turning it into an immersive room, we were able to let the people to feel, step inside the idea, stepping inside the machine dreams. And even the music you hear is not real, completely AI made. And you're suddenly like in this multi-sensory world that sometimes we don't know where the real starts, where the dream ends, and that kind of, I guess, feeling. And these specific immersive rooms are becoming very familiar, and I think around the world, and we became the pioneers of this specific movement and did many projects, like as you see here, and tried to create powerful messages through installations that is for, again, anyone, any age, and any background. And this type of installations can also take many different forms, as you may see, an historic like installation in a like 120 years old theater, and this is an AI watch all the movies ever played in that historical space, and then we reconstruct the memories of the space. Also look at different like large volume spaces, such as in Berlin Kraftwerk, and even we were able to work with AI and create an artificial brain. So it's a very interesting project. This is not a real brain. As you see, it's an fMRI DTI looking image that machine dreamed. This is data from the Human Connectome project, which is one of the most largest open source brain data, that is showing us what does it mean to have a feeling certain emotions and their representations. And AI can also be very inspiring when we had this image to like text to image prompts. Recently, DALL-E 2 and Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, many new algorithms allowing many people to start creating artwork through their language. And I think it's a very fascinating world that can create beautiful imagination. Almost 6 months ago, before DALL-E 2 was public, we were able to work with Zaha Hadid architects, and these two images you see are completely machine-made, not real, but we took this as an inspiration with Zaha Hadid architects and Patrick Schumacher and designed an immersive room where you were able to go these machine dreams. So we are calling this architecting the metaverse. It's an immersive space, and in this room, every single Zaha Hadid architecture archives were feeding the AI, and finding connections. And I do believe it's a little bit more inspiring than wearing adjusted TV on our face, than just a VR, but still feeling the physical connection with the building world we have. And this was a really interesting research right now open in Seoul, which you can hopefully go and see. And at the end, you were able to fly in those machine-dreamed images. And I would like to say immersive environments are very powerful and very exciting, but I want to take you to another project that I think can be also very fun to see. So right now, this one is a different AI project. So these flowers are trained on 75 million flowers. And we use Smithsonian archives, 16,000 every species exists. Pretty much every flower exists in the world. So this AI could dream any flower types in any light conditions, in any like seasons. But what was missing to me, the sound was AI, the image was also AI, but what about the scent? Like, can we smell what AI could dream? So here is our research. So this machine you see here is completely can create a real-time scent augmentation. Now imagine open a room and you step inside this universe where you feel the sea and that hopefully one day touch, maybe HVAC, the feeling of being in the machine dreams. It was a very inspiring public art project that brought many people in the city of Milan in the public space, and it was so powerful to see that not only just two mediums, but mixing multiple sensories, becoming this new kind of exploration. This is one of the world's first multi-sensory AI dreaming room, I guess. And the music also. And while this is going on research, we are not only just creating beautiful aesthetic pieces, we are also asking heavy questions. For example, can we reconstruct a memory? At the moment, we are researching with University of San Francisco and looking for patterns of Alzheimer, dementia, anxiety, and depression. And we are doing our very best to find how can we use these mediums and these environments to make an impact, a functional solution that I would love to share very soon with you. The other explanation, of course, in the live music. This is from a couple of months ago, Philadelphia Orchestra. In real time, Yannick is performing Mr. Solemnis, and real time, his movements and the music was letting AI to dream in real time. as Carl Sagan says, imagination will often carry us to the worlds that never were, but without it we go nowhere. And I would like to bring one more attention in this last part of the presentation to a topic that pretty much many probably creators are aware of this, blockchain and the activities around new economy. But today I don't want to talk about numbers, but I want to talk about something much important, the value of experience in public art. And I think it's a much more powerful to think about the value of experience in life that is open and free to everyone. Over the years, we worked with many information from the Hubble telescope to ISS data and make many, many artworks. But what was interesting is what will happen if we take this information and bring to like metaverse, which is a question what it is still. But I found that it is where physical and virtual connects. It's where I feel like we can create imagination. So this is an immersive room that you can step inside, where the ISS telescope, Hubble telescope, and the Mars MRO telescope can dream. So to me, challenging this medium is much important than trying to create a quick marketplace. I don't believe it's exciting to just rush through certain hype, but I think the questions are more important than the answers. And the question is, what else can we do with these mediums and create a new, maybe creative economy for social justice or for other like forms of imagination that is again just a click hype or something like quick to access. And I found this very inspiring because the potential of new technology is exciting, but again, I think we have to ask that questions to improve this research. For example, we also work with the Museum of Modern Art in New York, MoMA, and for example, MoMA allowed us to use their entire archive and let AI to dream infinite like artworks. It's a very meta question, but imagine a museum itself is dreaming all the artworks in their like basically museum. So this is an AI is dreaming from the 320,000 images of MoMA archives, which makes these 3 different artworks. And the other research was very inspiring through this. Again, NFTs maybe can be used much more powerfully in different contexts, for example, quantum computation. One of the exciting projects we did with the Google AI quantum team, we were able to look at the patterns of like their Google Advantage test and where we were able to connect these multiple like depth circuit data and transform these machine decisions into an immersive or a large-scale pandemic artwork. It was in a National Gallery of Victoria in Melbourne, and during the lockdown, 1.7 million people filled this piece. So technically what we are watching is this whoever-its many worlds interpretation theory, I guess. Like every subatomic inspiration and exploration can create new worlds. So we are watching AI dreaming these fluctuations in the noise, data of quantum noise. And the other aspect is public art. As I show, like on the left side, you can see someone dreaming like, or meditating and someone watching the piece. Putting these media walls in the public space, in nature, creates a very powerful experiences and make people connect with AI art, but in a public space, in a more like, I guess, divine, meditative, and maybe some escapism from the life, but in a place that has no walls and no doors and open. And I think this may be one of the best museums in the world, nature, and it's really hard to tap that. And another form of public art can be this, or we also explored historic buildings, such as here we see in Berlin, König galleries like St. Agnes Church, where we took the real-time data from the Berlin weather data. And this also artwork real-time changes every day. And I think the piece that we were like discussing also right now in Centre Pompidou is called Machine Hallucinations, Nature Dreams. And we got more than 600,000 audience in Berlin to watch this piece. I think the reason was creating a safe and secure space where ethically sourced data, ethically trained AI, creating an ethically correct environment that I think the people were feeling connected and meditating. And this piece is right now in Centre Pompidou Metz, and I think we'll be traveling around Europe as well. Another piece was also in Palazzo Strozzi, another AI dreaming in the ancient Renaissance area. And also we did a project, for example, with SpaceX. This project we are watching is an inspiration for the very first 4 astronauts went to space, and their mission was bring hope to humanity to show the research. And because of this NFT project, the only number today I want to give is this. We were able to collect $2.5 million for the Children's Hospital. And I think, again, this movement can create a major impact. It's beyond just selling something, but giving back to the futures. And the economy and the system is allowing. The intention is, I think, what we may need. And the last project, I want to finish this keynote with one of the recent projects, it's a couple of months ago in Barcelona, another experience in public space. As Gaudi said, originality consists in returning to the origin, thus that which is original returns to the simplicity of the first solutions. I think it's an incredible inspiration. And I was very honored to be able to work with UNESCO Heritage, the Gaudi's Casa Patio. So what we are seeing is a teaser of transforming the historic media facade, the facade of the Casa Patio, and getting this UNESCO Heritage 100 billion points of the facade and taking this data real time with a special sensor and letting this, I guess, metaverse or living architecture every single day changing based on the weather condition of Barcelona. So the idea was, can we take the live physical world inputs and bring to the digital world? And to make this happen, we were able to create a kind of an iconic, I guess, the facade itself with its color information. And then take these historical details of the facade. And as you see here in the very center, the sensor that was taking data real time. And as you see here, the algorithm is creating the wind patterns or the rain conditions, or if the wind is too much, as you may see, like it just the behaviors of the facade changes based on the reality of life, which I think I'm calling it a living architecture in the metaverse. And not only just in this virtual world, but we also take this and bring to New York, where the Rockefeller Center is. But I guess what was very powerful, not only this part, in Barcelona, we were able to projection map the building to bring to the metaverse. And what was amazing was 47,000 people were there to hug the building, to say hi to, I guess, the heritage. And I think what I want to finish is that the AI has its impact in society, but I think we are much in this phase of what else can we do with that, and how can we bring curiosity, inspiration, optimism, and much smart questions that I hope it can endeavor our future. And I want to finish this beautiful day with a quote that I just recently got 5 days ago in Burning Man, and it says, "The richest man is the one with the most love." So, hartelijk dank. Thank you so much for hosting me, and I'm deeply honored to be here with you today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And a wonderful New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafik Anadol.
Thank you.
And I know that there are parents out there worrying about their children that are maybe playing too many games. I know that there are students among us that are maybe are avid players or have it as a big hobby that interferes with their studies. But let me just say, there's one thing that you can answer if someone complains that you're on your PlayStation too much, and it's, well, Rafik Anadol did it too. So, you know, if it leads to this, please power up that PlayStation. Thank you so much, Rafik Anadol. And this has been quite a ride, and I want to soothe your ears and take you along in the program. And I have the honor to invite to the stage Mo. In 2021, she took the Flemish and Dutch charge by, surprise and fire and flame. And she has been making jaw-dropping, beautiful, soothing music ever since, and has nestled herself into the hearts of many Dutch people all around, and she is here with us now. Please give a warm hand of applause for Mo.
Ik zit constant in een tweestrijd, die waar mijn adem het verlamt. Ik ben nog godvergeten tel kwijt, te weinig vingers aan mijn hand. Ik wil begrijpen waar het moeilijk begint te worden als altijd. En toch te zeggen, ja ik doe het, maar dan vervolgens heb ik spijt. Kijk om me heen, de nacht die beweegt, dans tussen donker en licht. Achtergebleven, daar waar geweest, ik dans mijn ogen dicht. Ik vlieg van gisteren naar morgen, en dan vergeet ik weer vandaag. Er ligt iets wonderlijks verborgen, maar altijd weer onder die laag. Ik flap eruit waar ik aan denk, wat ik voel en wat ik vind, met weinig zicht op hoe dat aankomt, bij een vijand of een vriend. Ik kijk om me heen, de nacht die beweegt, dans tussen donker en licht. Achtergebleven, daar waar geweest, ik dans mijn ogen dicht. En het kan me niet schelen waar ik ook strand, want dit is mijn ware gezicht. En morgen is later, dus naderhand, ik dans mijn ogen dicht. Ik kijk om me heen, de nacht die beweegt, dans tussen donker en licht. Achtergebleven, daar waar geweest, ik dans mijn ogen dicht. En het kan me niet schelen waar ik ook strand, want dit is mijn ware gezicht. En morgen is later, dus naderhand, ik dans mijn ogen dicht. Ik dans mijn ogen dicht. Ik dans mijn ogen dicht.
And she will return with us shortly. Mo, beautiful, isn't it? Oh, God, it touches me every time. But we will start with a panel discussion in the here and now about art and the future of AI with Farshida Zafar representing the ICON team today and Saeed Kashmi, Alderman of Education and Culture of the city of Rotterdam. Please welcome to the stage. It still feels like Weekend Millionaire, and it's still not Weekend, I'm sorry. Farshida, could you quickly explain to us, what is the name ICON? What does it mean?
Good question. It's a real question, isn't it? ICON. Well, artificial intelligence and art combined. Kind of a word of play here on an iconic piece of art made by the citizens of the city with the researchers of this university. And a special artist, I don't know if you're here, Paim, can you wave? Say hello.
Somewhere, yeah, he's way in the back there.
There he is, right there. Yeah. One of the artists. Hey, Paim, hey, ICON team. So, and ICON is related to the fourth initiative, of course, the AI Pact, and with Francisca right there. So it's all one big happy project.
Collaborative.
Collaborative.
AI, of course. Now, Said, watching the show and the keynote speech of Rafik Anadol, what do you take away of his recommendations and his ideas for cities, and especially, of course, Rotterdam?
Mostly that it can be a solution for a lot of problems that we are facing as a society. Take, for example, the shortage that we experience now in staff. The discussion about, the public transport to trains, but also subways. If you don't have people, I know there are a lot of experiments now going on with self-driven cars. That could be a solution, to name one. Yeah, but also when it comes to healthcare, for example. So I think it could be a solution, like I said, to help our society go forward.
Mm-hmm. Farshida, you have been taking the ICON project outside of the borders of the Erasmus University Center and took it to the streets or to the city of Rotterdam and made it collaborative with people, the inhabitants of the city. How did you start this, or how did that work? How did you get people to join?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to make something very clear. It was not just me, it was a whole team.
Of course.
It's a team effort because, we're one university and we do things together. But the way we did it is actually by engaging with the communities around us. So, the mission of our university is to create positive societal impact. You cannot do that staying here on campus. You have to reach out. So the first objectives of this project was first to engage with others, engage with communities that probably feel the bridge is too far. So instead of they coming to us, we'll go to them. It's also about conducting research in a new way, in a way that we don't even know exactly how we're doing it, but it's about participation, it's about engagement, it's about bringing people together. And we do that through art, because similar to food, art binds people. And the reason why we chose AI is because AI is something vague, it's something not tangible, but it's also a topic that needs clarification, that needs demystification. So we thought we would use art as a way to transfer knowledge on and about AI, and at the same time engage with communities that, don't get to come to our campus.
Can you give us a little concrete example of how the ICON project works within the borders of Rotterdam?
Yeah, so of course, one of the first things that we did was a project that was initiated by Paim and Annemieke and Nana, who were, the artists behind it. And they thought about, we were thinking about how do we make an iconic piece of art with all these communities. And we actually thought about using, the hype around NFTs to actually educate people about NFTs, what they are not, but also to create an economic cycle. So what we've done is we've kick-started a project called City Portraits, and that's where participants from the communities themselves, they make their own, here you go. They make their own portrait, we digitize that, and then put it out in a digital platform. This is our digital gallery, which was made by Jonathan from the Erasmus X team. And we put all these portraits on OpenSeas. So the moment one of these portraits, these digital portraits are sold, the cash flow will go back to the communities. But again, it's not about the art itself, it's about the process. It's about getting people at the table, getting all these, especially these kids are from Rotterdam Zuid, who already have a different situation to start with, to get them to the room and engage with us in conversation.
About AI.
About AI, about their life. It's about exchange, it's about getting to know them getting to know us, seeing the university in a different light as well.
Beautiful. So Said, how can we keep and safeguard talent in Rotterdam, talent like this in Rotterdam, and how can we improve the city's climate to do this?
Well, first of all, by education. I think that's the most important thing. We've seen that societies in the world around us is digitalized very quickly in the last decades, and that will continue the coming years. So it's important to have good educated people, good educated students. Nowadays, there are like 25% of the jobs in Rotterdam are like connected in one way or another to AI.
Really, 25?
Yeah.
That's really a lot.
Yeah.
What's
And
that in numbers?
I don't know in numbers, but it's 25%, so it's a lot. And for the coming years, it's going to grow until 35%. So it's really important that we educate students so they can find a job, especially when you talk about, for example, children that are growing in Rotterdam South. We know that, it's important for them to have a good future, to have a state-of-the-art education, and AI is going to be very important.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Farshida Safar from ICON team and Saeed Kashmi, who will be shortly with us because we're moving into the first part of our ceremony, award ceremony. You can sit down and we can have a little audience clapping. Yes. Feels like I need to do this, yes. Every year we honor several researchers, students and colleagues at Erasmus University. And we'll start with the Education Prize 2022. And this prize will be awarded by Rector Magnificus Annelien Bredenoord. Welcome.
Thank you, and it's my honor to hand out the Education Prize 2022. And every year, the Education Prize is awarded to an individual member of our community who, through teaching or teaching-related activities, has made an outstanding contribution to education at Erasmus University. So, may I welcome the winner of the Education Prize 2022 to Marloes Nederhand. Marloes.
It's like a little disco party.
Yeah, it's a dance party.
It is
instead of an
festive.
education prize.
It
yes.
is festive.
But first I would like to tell something about Marloes and why she will be awarded this year's prize. Marloes, you are a real homegrown talent, as you have been with us since 2010. And you have been conducting cutting-edge studies into teaching methods, and you have created considerable societal impact by continuously emphasizing the importance of education in research designs, in education, and also in policy making. So I think all over the spectrum. And from the jury reports, I can quote, "What sets Marloes apart is her rare ability to successfully create synergy between all aspects of education, be it research, policy making, management, or teaching," end quote. And I thought in line of today's program, I would like to mention a recent project, because you have become a member of the steering committee of Flora Lighthouse. And this is a research project that seeks to test groundbreaking AI, a tool to improve self-regulated learning in real-life educational settings. So I think it's very relevant for what we are discussing today. And this morning, you told me a fun fact that also your sister has won the Lamberts Prize, I think a couple of years ago. So I think that's quite exceptional, that two sisters from one family, that the entire Nederhand family has been here on the stage getting such an award. So Marloes, the 2022 Education Award is yours. Congratulations.
And Marloes, I have a quick question. AI is a very collaborative field of work, and could you tell a little something about the practice that you have been collaborating on?
Yeah, so the tool is developed by Dr. Inge Molenaar and the team at Rotterdam University in collaboration with universities worldwide. And the tool aims to help students write their paper by providing more insight in their writing process, so what steps they take. And now in education, so in the course I'm giving right now, Innovations in Education and Training, students can use the tool so they can experience how it is, but they can also advise the research team on how they think students would want to use this and what information is especially helpful for them, so we can still, they can still use that while making the dashboard and while, finalizing it.
Thank you so much, starting from home and taking it here to the Erasmus University. Good luck and congratulations. All right, we'll move along. Thank you. We'll move on to our second prize. That's the Student Societal Impact Award. And this prize will be awarded by the chairman of the Erasmus Trust Fund, Michiel Muller.
Yes, thank you all. Indeed, very proud to award this prize. At least the jury has awarded this prize to a group of very talented and society-moved students. And these students are sitting behind me, and these students consist of 2 boards, because they only started this initiative 2 years ago. And now in 2 years' time, they've managed to have about 100 medical students really engage with the city of Rotterdam, helping people through pandemic issues, but all sorts of projects they've started up with their own help and with these 2 boards. So I'd like to announce that the Student Societal Impact Award 2022 is awarded to come forward, yeah. So in no particular order, Chayen Chindu, that's it, yes. Aika Kotsar, yes, that's you. Fien Lobe, yes. Thomas Pereira Horta, Portuguese, eh? Yes. Elzara Elka Wafi, hello. And Jeanne Arnold, here we go. And we have a very special prize for you. An enormous award that can fit in one of your student rooms, hopefully. Here you go.
So I know you have been the brainiacs behind something called the vaccinatie-twijfeltelefoon. Involved. Exactly. Just a few of the masterminds involved with this phone that you can ring if you had doubts about getting a vaccination. Could you tell a little bit about that?
Well, thank you for the question. And first, we'd like to thank the initiatives and the creators of this wonderful initiative, which are the Erasmus Medical Center and the Gezondheidskloof, for giving us the opportunity to help out by connecting our students who are very enthusiastic and have the knowledge, and in that way we could help out. And Thomas will answer the question.
Yeah, indeed, that's mainly made a difference by giving people like direct and easily accessible information that's honest, information that is understandable about all kinds of important health topics, and also the multilingual aspect made it accessible to even more people. And we would like to dedicate this award to our late mentor and godfather, Charles Boucher, who really inspired us to think outside of the box, to push our limits, and to really go into our cities and give back to our community, the city of Rotterdam. And he is really the reason why we started and founded Gids, and his vision is the core of Gids. So yeah, it means a lot, and thank you all.
Thank you. Great. We will move into our second panel discussion, and we would like to ask to the floor Thomas Mosca, AR alumnus and founder of the Turing Student Rotterdam Turing College, and Tessa Bouwmans, PhD student at the university with the project AI Pact. I don't need this one. I'm sorry, I'm like, let me just put that quickly here. So Tessa, could you just quickly tell us something about the project that you are involved in?
Yeah, so I'm a PhD candidate at AI Pact, which is a group of scientists who are looking into the social impact of artificial intelligence in the fields of work, communication, arts, and health. And they're sitting right over there, so if you want to talk to them after, address them, I would say.
And could you like give some more details? Like, what are you guys together working on?
Right. So we have quite a broad range of topics. So I will just elaborate also time-wise just on my own topic.
Maybe just your favorite. Yeah, probably your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my work is actually about the topic of work, and specifically I look at the fashion sector and more specifically even about workers in the fashion sector, so people that are making our garments. The last 20 years, garment production has mostly been outsourced to global south countries. So if you will look into one of your own labels, you'll probably see made in Bangladesh, made in India. And also 80% of these garment workers are women. But also we know that the working conditions of these women is usually not the best. The wages are low, hours are long, and there's also a lot of knowledge about the unsafe working conditions that these women work in. So my interest is really to look at the global production systems and how these connect to these working conditions of these women. And specifically, I look at the topic of decent work, which is a concept from the International Labour Organization. And this is a way of looking at work that's not so much about wages or hours, but also really looking at the value of fundamental core issues such as freedom, equity, human dignity, and safety for workers. So you're probably thinking right now, okay, we're here at an AI-themed opening, so how does that relate to your work? Well, actually what we're seeing now is that the garment industry is really starting to change due to advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence. And what I really want to find out more about, and which is currently very under-researched, is really how these technologies in the greater system of production affects work throughout the chain. So that's really what I focus on. And in doing so, I really hope to find barriers, but also opportunities, how we can use these technologies to improve sustainable working conditions for these women.
So I had a little quick peek just after rehearsals, and my dress is made in China. Yeah. What does that tell you?
I mean...
Should I be feeling bad now?
It's not a very transparent chain in China, so I can't say anything conclusive, but it's probably...
Okay, I should worry. All right, thank you. Thank you for enlightening us. Thomas, well, I think we've pretty much figured out that technology, AI, is unavoidable and it's going to impact our life drastically in the future. And you believe that we really need to start at home early in life while we're still students. You started the Turing Students in 2015, so you've been running it for 7 years already. Can't get enough of it.
So we started during students when we came to university, and we noticed that we got really excited about tech, but there was no organization, no community we could refer ourselves into. We said, let's just start one. So we did start one, and I asked to put up this picture, which is a very professional one, as you can tell. It's from Locus Publicus, for the locals here. Mm-hmm. And that was the first meeting of Turing Students in 2015. And really our goal was to really excite more people about technology and make that exciting, teach more people about coding. And we didn't look or wear too professional at that point, but my main message here would be that don't be afraid to start, and then eventually you'll learn what you have to do. But so I haven't been running it for 7 years, thankfully, I guess. But students have taken it over, and then now it's a self-living organization that I'm very happy to contribute when I'm back.
Self-living like AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what can students do themselves to give more impact to their education and to improve their skills? Do they knock on the door of the Turing?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get excited about technology, there's one way to do it. But I really don't think there's just one solution. So if you really want to affect your education and, in general, your life and your development, I think it's super important just to get matters into your own hands. Just don't wait for somebody to sort of figured it out for you. And I think that's a good example for other students or even the staff or whoever is involved in Erasmus to really just be active, be proactive. I really love the quote from Steve Jobs where he says that at one point you realize that everything around us is made by some other people. Like somebody made everything and somebody thought of everything. So you have two choices. You can either just look at those things, enjoy them, be a user of them, or you can go out there and create things that you get excited about. So Turing Students is one of those things for me personally, and I really encourage everyone here as well to sort of make the world as they would love to see it.
Thank you. And could you end this little talk by just like some short recommendations to the university? You've been thinking from AI, from the students' point of view. What could the university do to offer more or make their students more world-wise, tech-wise, AI-wise?
Yeah, so myself, I've been involved in education since I got excited about this thing and we started building an organization. What we really found personally is that what works best is to learn through practice. So to learn through trying out things, doing something, failing, getting up again, failing again. And that's an amazing experience to have. And I think especially in university, you have the freedom to have this experience, and it's much easier to fail and start again. So I think the best thing university can do, and I know is doing by little steps, is encourage more students to be active in these organizations, start new organizations, make it easier to start them. Up to this day, there are some complications and there are some harder things for students to do, and I would love university to take steps basically to make that easier, because we have a lot of amazing students, a lot of amazing alumni, and they really just want to get things done.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way. Fail and fail better.
Precisely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Thomas and Tessa. Thank you. And now it's time for some more sweet and soothing music. You've already heard her. So, Mo, I would like to ask you for the stage. And you've been listening along to this, all these talks about tech and future and AI. And I was wondering, would you happen to see some future for AI in your work? Because you use like quite classical. Are you going to stick to the classical?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think for my music I will ever use it because my lyrics are very personal. So for my music, I don't think so. But for music in general, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Never say never. Anyway, here she is, Mo.
Gisteren zat ik hier met een vriend. We hadden het over toen ik jou verliet. Al best lang geleden, toch te lang gewacht. We hadden het over je ziel en je kracht. Zo zacht dan hoe jij je gedroeg. Nee, voor jou was er nooit iemand genoeg. Jij was het speciaalst en nog nooit iets verkeerd. Met gesloten ogen bekeek ik het weer. Hoe ik toen een meisje was, jij een vreselijke droom. Ik had mezelf het gezegd en mezelf het beloofd. Had het afgesloten, weg met verdriet. En ik zou het vergeten, maar dat lukt me weer niet. Want de pijn die blijft, het zit dieper dan dat. Zou een moord doen zodat ik je woorden vergat. Want dat klote gevoel dat toen is ontstaan, dat gaat nooit meer weg. En dat heb jij gedaan. Gisteren kwam er een besef. Jij duwde iedereen ver van me weg. En dingen die jij tegen me zei, dat vrienden me haten, maar jij hield van mij. Je uitspraken waren zo goed als gestoord. Vooral met een slok op, dan draaide het door. Nu makkelijk praten, ik had weg moeten gaan. Maar graag had ik nog zoveel anders gedaan. Hoe ik toen een meisje was, jij een vreselijke droom. Ik had mezelf het gezegd en mezelf het beloofd. Had het afgesloten, weg met verdriet. En ik zou het vergeten, maar dat lukt me weer niet. Want de pijn die blijft, het zit dieper dan dat. Zou een moord doen zodat ik je woorden vergat. Want dat klote gevoel dat toen is ontstaan, dat gaat nooit meer weg. En dat heb jij gedaan. Je hebt me beschadigd met de pijn van je verzopen daden. En zo heb je me achtergelaten. Lijkt wel ziek, heb je dat in de gaten. Je hebt me beschadigd met de pijn van je verzopen daden. En zo heb je me achtergelaten. Lijkt wel ziek, heb je dat in de gaten. Hoe ik toen een meisje was, jij een vreselijke droom. Ik had mezelf het gezegd en mezelf het beloofd. Had het afgesloten, weg met verdriet. En ik zou het vergeten, maar dat lukt me weer niet. Want de pijn die blijft, het zit dieper dan dat. Zou een moord doen zodat ik je woorden vergat. Want dat klote gevoel dat toen is ontstaan, dat gaat nooit meer weg. En dat heb jij gedaan.
Yes, as promised before, we have 2 more awards to give. And the third prize that we will be awarding today is the Rotterdam Thesis Award 2022. And may I welcome Alderman Said Kashmi to the stage once again.
Thank you. I'd like to say some words about this award. Together with the Erasmus University Rotterdam, the municipality of Rotterdam has founded the Rotterdam Thesis Award. With this award, both parties want to stimulate students to actively contribute to the city. Students are invited to use their expertise, skills, creativity, and enthusiasm to think along about societal issues in the city. These students' contributions are of great importance to the city of Rotterdam. And the winning thesis of the year 2022 is The Elephant in the Treatment Room, Acknowledging and Treating Consequences of Racism and Mental and Physical Health by Ingrid Blankenstein. Ingrid, unfortunately, cannot be present today, but she will speak to us through a video message shortly.
Hello, unfortunately, I'm unable to collect the Thesis Award in person today. That is because I'm starting a new job today in Vienna, but via this video, I'd like to express my thanks to both the university and the municipality for awarding me with the Thesis Prize. And I would like to say that I hope that this prize inspires other students as well to write societally relevant theses. Thanks again, and greetings from Vienna.
And it's awarded to Supervisor Peter Scholte.
Alsjeblieft.
Peter, you had the honor to guide Ingrid with her thesis. How would you describe her to us as a student?
Yeah, very systematic thinker, also very much engaged with the topic. And well, in our collaboration, it felt more like we were colleagues in the same research project than that I'm really supervising her. So she did all the work and she deserves all the credit.
And are you proud?
I am incredibly proud, as you can see.
You should be. Perfect.
It
will have a great place in Vienna. Thank you so much. All right. The fourth award of today is the Sustainability Award, and this prize will be awarded by the Vice Chair of the Executive Board, Ellen van Schoten. Welcome.
Each year we award the Sustainability Award to the best initiative that helps us as a university to become more sustainable. And furthermore, we actually implement that initiative in our university. And I'm very proud to announce that this year's winner is the Eureka organizational team. Please welcome. And please let me tell you why we are giving this award to you. Each year we welcome new students to our campus and to the city of Rotterdam, over 5,000 students. And the organizational team, the Eureka team, has made sure that they know what sustainability is. They actually have taken a number of measures from reusable ponchos to a strict no-flyer policy, to bottles for tap water, etc. All kinds of measures that helps students make aware why sustainability is so important. And I'm very proud to give one of you this wonderful reward. Here you are, Sven.
The Sustainability Award, that's quite an honor to get as a team. I hope you get to fight over who gets to hang it above their bed. But to look towards the future, how will we be able to make the Eureka Week even more sustainable?
Yes, of course, there's a plan in place for everything in this case. And for us, the idea is to invest the prize money in reusable hard cups, to create a solution, a long-term solution against single-use plastic cups for the Eureka Week. On top of that, we've already implemented many other sustainable initiatives for the previous edition of the Eureka Week. However, most of these initiatives were implemented as pilots. Now that we have the necessary data, we can fine-tune these initiatives for the upcoming editions to make sure that we further reduce plastic waste, food waste, and the use of printed materials for the upcoming years.
Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Yes.
And we are moving into the final leg of our ceremony here. We've had some insightful and fun times. Oh, I did it again. Look, this is my little spot there, right there. Yeah, nothing happened. Yep, there. And I would like to ask to the stage Chairman of the Board, Ed Bringsma, again with me. Where is he? Yes. My pillar of trust. So Ed, the first time with a full room, we had this program. How did you like it so far?
Great. I was really, I think, many in the audience overwhelmed by what Rafik showed us. But of course, I'm also incredibly proud of all these people sitting here. Every year again, we have beautiful awards, wonderful winners. Makes me really proud to be one of the leaders of this university.
Well, I'd be offended if you said otherwise. I will now give you the floor for the final speech. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're nearly finished. To use the curiosity of your students is an important didactical principle. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire that must be kindled, the philosopher Plutarch famously wrote. With the Dutch artist Theo van Doesburg, founder of the art movement, co-founder of the art movement De Stijl, this principle was apparently not applied. Because he was only interested in reading, he was kicked out of elementary school and subsequently never completed any formal education. In spite, or perhaps because of this, He was one of the great innovators in the Dutch and European art scene in the beginning of the 20th century. Among other things, he had a decisive influence on the success of the famous Bauhaus movement. The German architect Walter Gropius, I think there should be a next slide, yes, founded the Bauhaus Academy in Weimar in 1919 with a revolutionary manifesto. He argued that all the arts and crafts are deeply related and should be treated as an integrated whole, putting forward the idea of a Gesamtkunstwerk. Society in the new age after the First World War required nothing less. Visiting Bauhaus in 1921, van Doesburg observed that in spite of Gropius' big words, practice in Weimar was rather traditional. Progressive on the outside, Biedermeier on the inside, he quipped. Influenced by van Doesburg's ideas, Gropius changed the Bauhaus policy from Kunst und Handwerk, arts and crafts, into Kunst und Technik, arts and technology. The rest is history. In its short existence from 1919 until its closure by the Nazis in 1933, Bauhaus was a unique center of innovation in art, design and architecture with the ambition to impact the life of the common man positively by better designed city developments, factories, well-designed, functional and inexpensive utensils, furniture, etc. After 1933, the last Bauhaus director, architect and designer Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, took these ideas with him to North America, passing them on to future artists and designers of all possible backgrounds. To this day, many of us possess designs and objects of Bauhaus origin. Okay, back to here and now. The recently carried out midterm review of our Erasmus University Strategy 2024 encourages us to capitalize even stronger on our goal to create positive societal impact. An important instrument for this is our Convergence Alliance with Delft University of Technology and Erasmus Medical Center, with the ambition of combining our scientific disciplines, methods and infrastructures. This convergence is spawning new disciplines, educational programs, and solutions for great societal challenges. And there is our collaboration with the arts academies of Willem de Koning and Codarts, with the aim of merging them into a new, socially engaged Rotterdam Institute of the Arts. Here too, cross-fertilization and integration will engender innovation and a flywheel for the culture campus in Rotterdam South, fostering much needed socio-economic development there. It is no coincidence that a culture campus inspired project of Erasmus University, the arts academies and the city of Rotterdam secured a €5 million subsidy of the new European Bauhaus program, an initiative by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. This brings me to an important observation. Erasmus University and its partners are optimally positioned to create a new Bauhaus, the Rotterdam Bauhaus of the 21st century. This time using the concept perhaps of integrated science, the Gesamtwissenschaft, so to speak, and the transdisciplinarity needed to meet the great societal challenges of our times: peace, climate, energy, migration, inclusion, etc. And to be connected to such hubs worldwide, such as through our European University Alliance, unique to create an even greater impact. A Bauhaus that, of course, includes the arts as well. As today's program and the amazing work of Refik Anadol has convincingly shown, the arts provide a powerful medium between the intricacies of science and technology and the social fabric of society. It will be essential to make the products of artificial intelligence imaginable, visible, approachable in completely new ways. The arts will be crucial to communicate empathically about the transitions and the technologies that the future will need. After an adolescence spent mainly in the context of science and technology, AI is now entering adulthood with its interaction with people, societies, and cultures. And even stronger than before, it is a co-evolution unavoidably changing ourselves, our societies, our cultures. The scale and profundity of this AI-driven change is unprecedented, and we are just standing only at its beginning. Our students must have the opportunity to be educated in a Bauhaus-like community at the cradle of the solutions to societal challenges and innovations in education and research. History teaches that diversity is a mother of invention, making inclusivity not just a nicety, but a necessity. And thinking of this, for us as educational institutions, it's important to keep in mind that formal qualifications are not necessarily the only way to success. Not just Van Doesburg, who was kicked out of elementary school, but also Gropius and Mies van der Rohe never completed their education. In fact, Mies van der Rohe's only formal qualification was that of a bricklayer. With the unlimited possibilities of artificial intelligence in the social and in the domain of social sciences and humanities comes great responsibility. The wonderful poem Tabacaria, the tobacco shop, by the famous Portuguese poet and writer Fernando Pessoa, is part of the collection The Metaphysical Engineer by his alter ego, Álvaro de Campos. Its first stanza reads, Não sou nada, nunca serei nada, não posso querer ser nada. I am nothing. I will never be anything. I cannot want to be anything. A parte isso, tenho em mim todos os sonhos do mundo. Besides that, I have in me all the dreams of the world. Some interpret this as a nihilistic or even fatalistic statement, but it describes quite accurately the life that Pessoa was leading voluntarily. After a life of modest literary significance, he died in 1935 at the age of 47, leaving a wooden trunk with more than 25,000 pages of unpublished work. His reputation of one of the most significant literary figures of the early 20th century literature is the result of his massive posthumously published legacy, written under more than 70 different pen names, each with their own distinctive character, thus representing all the dreams of the world. In fact, Pessoa, the author, came as close to leading a multitude of virtual lives as was possible in his day and age. Today, artificial intelligence allows us to marry all the dreams of the world to our physical existence. And it is up to us to make sure that these are significant and beautiful dreams and not nightmares. Making minds matter. Thank you.
Ed Bringsma, thank you so much. Thank you. And we have one final Mentimeter, because for all those people that were fearing the AI, I really wonder if this show has kind of maybe changed your mind a little. So we have a sound cloud, or no, a word cloud, sorry, not a sound cloud, a word cloud that you can actually type in the words that come up with you when you think about a future with AI, and you can answer honestly and anonymously. So please feel free of how are you going to start this new year? How are you feeling about AI and about a future with AI? And we'll be seeing that on the screen later on. But first, we have another round of beautiful music from Mo. Thank you.
Raam open, mijn voet op het pedaal en ik ga. Ik blijf rijden, alleen naar voren kijken. Ik wil hopen dat ik een beetje leer hoe het staat. Het zijn feiten, minder vergelijken. Het mooie gaat van start, het lege lijkt nu leger. Voel het alsmaar harder, probeer het te vergeten. Omgeving staart me aan en geeft me lucht. De straten lijken donker, toch brandt er zoveel licht. Ik luister naar mezelf, maak me los van het gewicht. En verstand op nul, zo wil ik blijven gaan. Ik voel me steeds vrijer, alles wordt kleiner. Langzaam met de dagen op zijn tijd. Ik voel me steeds vrijer, alles wordt kleiner. Zorgen raak ik steeds wat beter kwijt. Mijn raam open, mijn voet op het pedaal en ik ga. Ik blijf rijden, alleen naar voren kijken. Ik wil hopen dat ik een beetje leer hoe het staat. Het zijn feiten, minder vergelijken. In mezelf, muziek op 110 en kom maar de helft van een melodie. Mijn raam open, mijn voet op het pedaal en ik ga. Ik blijf rijden, alleen naar voren kijken. Ik ben aan het staren en voel me al wat beter. Lucht is op aan het klaren, het lukt me te vergeten. Een beetje lichter dan ik had gedacht. Het lukt me te beseffen dat alles toch wel goed gaat. Wat ik eigenlijk heb, bijna alles toch genoeg maakt. Ineens wordt stilte juist het allerhardst. Ik voel me steeds vrijer, alles wordt kleiner. Zorgen raak ik steeds wat beter kwijt. Mijn raam open, mijn voet op het pedaal en ik ga. Ik blijf rijden, alleen naar voren kijken. Ik wil hopen dat ik een beetje leer hoe het staat. Het zijn feiten, minder vergelijken. In mezelf, muziek op 110 en kom maar de helft van een melodie. Mijn raam open, mijn voet op het pedaal en ik ga. Ik blijf rijden, alleen naar voren kijken.
All right. And now it is time for the official opening of the academic year. And I have with me Ed, and he will show for you how you need to be loud, because it's going to be a little interactive moment, because otherwise we will not be leaving this room. You can use your hands, your feet, and your voice, because we have a decibel meter with us. And only if we reach the right volume, the banners will come down and you will be able to leave. The doors are locked. It's sound automated. I'm very sorry. Please, Ed, show us, how do you stomp?
Aha. Well, you have to have the right...
There we go. And then we clap. And then we yell. Yeah! We need to do it again, louder. We need to do it again, louder, louder, louder. Come on. The spirit of AI is not with us today, but we are. Thank you so much. And please follow the BDEL. They will now rise. Wait till they move. And then we will move calmly out of the video. Oh. Yeah. We were wrapping it up. I just told us the show that, you know, sometimes the spirit of AI is not with you.
It was not connected to the internet, but which gives us also a bit of space and quiet. But I have to speak the magic words.
You do.
I declare the academic year 22-23 for open.
Yes, thank you.
And then
there's always chaos.
I think it's high time we should really leave and get something to drink. I'm sure you feel the same as I do.
Please rise and follow the BDEL. They will take center stage first and follow you outside for the party. Thank you so much for joining here in the room and at home. And we will continue with our party and our festivities in the auditorium.
Okay. We hebben wel heel veel lawaai gemaakt. Maar handen daar helemaal